Hey guys, Kate Kennedy here with my last project using the June Hip Kit. So I tried to do this voiceover several times, so I'm hoping I'll get it right this time. But I am going to start with showing you a card that I made, and then I'm going to show you the process of the card, and then I'm going to show you a layout that I created that the footage got lost from. So I'm just going to have to show it to you, and I apologize for that. But I will show you the process of this card. So I'm taking the two Distress Ink, Squeezed Lemonade, and Picked Raspberry. Aren't those just fun summary names? From the kits this month. And I'm taking a piece of paper that I have cut to 4.25 by, no, 4.25 by 5.5 by 11. And I'm scoring it at 5.5. I'm just going to tape off the top of that because I don't want any ink on the back of the card. Now, to get a really pretty blended color with only two Distress inks, you're going to want to start with your lightest color because you don't want to get the darker color onto your lighter colors foam applicator. At least I didn't because I don't want to have to replace that yellow applicator. I want to leave it just yellow. But if I get a little bit of the yellow on the pink, it doesn't really matter. So I've sped this up a lot because this takes a little while. You want to use a very light hand when you're blending, even though at least my natural thing is to press really hard. You don't want to do that. You want to blend really lightly. And you can see here that orange and pink are going to create a really pretty, that yellow and pink are going to create a really pretty orange color. And I'm just going to start bringing it down to the bottom so it's well blended. And this ink is kind of like Hero Arts dye ink or any dye ink in that it's going to take a minute for it to soak into the paper and smooth out, but it will, and it looks really pretty and seamless. So I'm just kind of going around the edges to make sure that they have color on them so that it looks finished. And I'm going to heat set this for a minute just so I'm not getting ink on my fingers when I'm messing with the card. And I'm just going to be quiet here for a second while I go through a bunch of embellishments and try to figure out what I'm going to use, and then I'll start talking again when I have it figured out because you'll see I go through a lot of different options. Okay, so I'm still going through all my embellishments. And if you want to see what I have left of my kit, you can watch the video. I think it's right before this one, and it's like a kit status video, and I show you what I have left. So what I decided to do is take this banner piece, and I'm going to take some of this embossing powder, not embossing powder, but it's like the embossing buddy thing. It's basically baby powder or cornstarch, something like that. And it gets all the sticky off the back of the sticker because I'm going to use it to outline and then recreate that banner flat on the card. Like I'm going to trace it and then draw it, sketch it out in pencil, and then go over it and pen because the happiness looks like this wouldn't make sense on a card. So I need to change the sentiment of it. So I think that this is really cool. It's a cool way to use a sticker in a different way than just slapping it on your page is to use it as an inspiration for something else. And then I'll use that sticker at some other point on a layout or something. But just for now, I'm using it. I'm kind of getting double use out of it, you know? But I never could draw this without having that sticker right next to me and to be able to trace it because I'm just so not artistic like that. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing. And I'll go back. The next shot I think that you'll see, it'll be done in pen. Like it'll be all traced over in pen. You can see it close up there. And I also will show you that I used this Zig Photo signature pen and it didn't bleed through, which was important because it is a single layer card and I didn't want it to bleed through and show on the inside of the card. So that worked out well. And I'm going to end up using one of these Studio Calico butterflies and then part of that Ellie Studio banner. And those are going to be the only two embellishments, I think, that I use on, I can't remember, that I use on this card to finish it off. And I really like the way it turned out. I was really happy with it. And I was really excited about how it looks like I am a fancy drawer, and I'm really not. So I'm just going to write in the I love you to the moon. And what I end up writing is I love you to the moon and back. And I just went for it with the pen here. I don't know. Normally I would have written that out in pencil first, but I guess I was feeling brave. So I just went for it. And the next part of this video is going to be me showing you a layout that I did, and I used a whole bunch of these stickers. Well, first I'm going to try to figure out how to draw an ampersand, because it's not as easy as you would think, and I never realized that I have no idea how to draw one. So I practice and practice and practice, and then I just end up writing out and. Not funny. How things. I never figured out a good way to draw one. I'm sure there's a video somewhere on how to draw an ampersand. So I was like, oh, no, not good. I'll just write it. So that is the finished card. Oh, it's not the finished card. I totally forgot about this. So I wanted to give it some more like depth to the background. So what I did was I took one of those little masks from one of the add-on. We get a whole set of 6 different masks this month, or stencils, and I'm just doing like some tone-on-tone color with the triangles, and I think it just adds so much to it, and I really like the way that turned out on top of that Distress ink. Isn't that fun? I think I'm done now. Okay, so I did actually do a layout for this video, but it was not recording. I thought the entire time that it was recording, and it was not. So I'm going to show you really quickly the supplies that I used, and then I'll show you the layout. I used a ton of these stickers from this Echo Park Capture Life sticker sheet by Allison Craft, and I used all of these because I hadn't used any of them, so like 6 of them. I also used some of the alphabet, but mostly these stickers. And then I did get the chance to use a bunch of these Studio Calico stars, which I was really excited about. Somebody asked me in my last video where this tray came from. This is from the kids like, okay, it's where all the plates and stuff are, plates and bowls and things like that. And this is actually in the kids part, and it comes with 2 of them, like one underneath it, for I think it's $1, or it might be $1.99, one of the 2. But I also have little bowls that are the same. So just to answer that question, I think I responded on my last video, but in case it didn't work because I don't get this whole Google Plus thing, then that's where I got it. Okay, so without further ado, here is the layout, and I really like the way it turned out. I had some reservations about it before it was totally finished. And so this is the great thing about being on a design team and having like a forum, is that I posted a quick picture of it and asked the other girls, like, what do you think? Is this? And they were so sweet and, you know, told me what they liked about it and everything. And it just kind of, because sometimes you're just not sure, you know, sometimes you doubt yourself, because I did some weird stuff on this layout for me, you know. I used a ton of stickers, which I normally don't do, but I really like the way it turned out, and it is a little bit different. So I took that Echo Park Capture Life paper that's like the, well, it goes the opposite direction than I used it. I think I have another sheet. Let me show you, because I did something weird with it. Of course I did, right? I can't just leave well enough alone. So the paper actually looks like this. So what I did was I measured from the branding strip to the center. I think it was 4.5 inches or 4.25 inches. So then I measured from the center point this way, so that way it was symmetrical on both sides. And then I just cut the paper off there. Then I cut the paper off in a V and cut the paper off in another V, and I created this shape. And it had like tails on the end, you know, but I cut those off. So that's why I got that shape, and then I put it this way on the page. And I think that I'll take a second to talk about kind of scrapbooking rules, and I'm doing air quotes like this because there are no rules in scrapbooking, but if you were to follow some design like principles, then this would be a good example, I think, of how something like this can go tragically wrong, because it did take a lot of finessing and moving of stickers to figure out something that didn't look like a big hot mess. So what I found was important was that this direction is pulling your eye towards the photograph. to do a layout like this where you have so many things going on, it's hard to keep the focus on the center. And I think that this diagonal slant in this paper does a really good job of it. It would also do the same thing if you were to put your picture here, because all of this is pointing towards this way. It wouldn't be as effective if you put it over here, I don't think, in my opinion. This is all my opinion now. I'm no expert and there's no book of rules for scrapbooking. So this is just personally my opinion, and I have no design education. So there are probably like graphic designers out there going, oh my God, stop, you're so wrong. But this is my opinion, and that's that, right? So in my opinion, I feel like this draws your eye towards the photo, and then it's still the center, which is why I made it kind of an odd shaped, larger photograph. Okay, so in order to make all of this kind of tie in together, I decided to create this like vertical line of embellishment to, instead of the whole rule of three thing, to keep it all kind of concentrated towards the center. So I started at the top with the letters, and then I just kind of worked my way down with stickers. So these are all just flat stickers off of the Echo Park 2 sticker sheets, and those are spaced apart. And then down here where it's less busy, and there's no competing patterns behind it, I kind of layered them on top of each other and then finished with a smaller, so it kind of goes like this and then like this, if that makes sense, like a diamond. And then over here, I just kind of wanted to bring it out and bring it back in, and then, you know, bring it down, that kind of thing. So in my opinion, it works. You may look at this and go, what is she talking about? That is horrible. But that's the great thing about this, guys, is that it's all a matter of perception, right? It's all a matter of what you think is beautiful, what you think works, what you think draws the eye, and that's what's great about it. And that's why I think that we have the ability to appreciate and admire so many different people's work and different people's styles, because I feel like that there are energy in these projects, and as long as it's, you know, you're putting in, you know, your story and your energy into this to create something that hopefully conveys a message. And I think that that transcends all styles, whether it's shabby chic or steampunk or grungy or, you know, watercolor or minimalistic or, you know, super embellished. I mean, I can appreciate, there's probably 50 people out there that on the regular, I'm like, oh my God, their work is so good. It may not be something that I'm going to go home and do, but you can appreciate it. So, that being said, go out in the world, people, and create beautiful things and do it however you want to. Just use a hip kit. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.